Welcome. These are the chapter 6.1 notes, an introduction to angles, degrees, and radian measures. We are going to start by making sure we all have the terminology under control and we are using the same words to describe things. We understand what those mean. So to start at the top, number one, a ray is part of a line with a fixed endpoint. And we may be more comfortable with the picture. So here is the part of the line that I'm talking about. Here is my fixed endpoint. Keep in mind that can go in any direction. Sometimes you'll see it defined as half a line. A line goes on forever, so I guess wherever we put a point cuts it in half. When we draw two rays that have that common endpoint, a common vertex, we call it an angle. So this next piece, what we are talking about here, and let's see if we can color codes, we got the same thing going on. When we talk about an angle, here's my fixed endpoint, and then I've got two rays that go off in different directions. Okay. So for the purpose in trig, we are going to have an initial side and a terminal side. Our initial side is going to be along that positive x-axis. We want to make sure that everything looks in the same place. Everything can be read the same way. Okay, so here's our initial side. Not every angle is going to be framed this way, but it is helpful when we talk about which quadrants they lie in, all that good stuff. So how about we make the terminal side go this way this time? Okay. When we have an angle in standard position, we're going to talk about that in a minute. That is what I talked about with the initial side being along the positive x-axis. The terminal side either lies in a quadrant, and we need to be comfortable with where the quadrants are, or on an axis. Then we say that theta lies in either the quadrant or it's a quadrantal angle. Okay. We have got some basic definitions here. A 90-degree angle, most people are super comfortable with this term, is called a right angle. If it's a 180-degree angle, it basically makes a straight line. We call it a straight angle. An acute angle has an angle whose measure is between 0 and 90. Notice that it cannot include 0, it cannot include 90. Obtuse angle then runs from between 90 to 180. If we are writing this in interval notation, an acute angle is going to have a measure between 0 and 90 degrees. Those parentheses means we do not include the endpoints. If you just came out of college algebra, this probably makes more sense than if it's been a while since you've taken a math class. We do not include those endpoints. And so the measure of an obtuse angle, we're going to go from 90 to 180. A lot of times we will use capital letters for the corners of a triangle, lowercase letters for the opposite sides. More often than not, though, when we talk about angles, not necessarily in a triangle, we use Greek letters. And so the most commonly used Greek letters are theta, phi, alpha, beta, and gamma. Typically, if there's a triangle, we'll use alpha, beta, gamma all together. So we've got the three sides. Theta you see a lot when we talk about a standalone angle. Okay. So the last little bit here, an angle is said to be in standard position. If the vertex is at the origin and the initial side coincides with the positive x-axis. So if we have our imaginary coordinate grid here, my origin right here where my two axes intersect, my positive x-axis here, is this side. Super not easy to see with the yellow. But there you have it, page 1.